All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video today. Today we're going to talk about a $25,000 brand new Model 2 and maybe a $25,000 used Model 2 and some model Tesla model whatevers, and talk about it because there's some interesting stuff that just got released, just got announced by Tesla, and it looks like there might be something coming on the horizon in terms of like a Project Highland or Generation 3 project or whatever. And there's a couple articles about, is there going to be a $25,000 Model 2 unveiled in the next year or maybe 2024? So we're going to jump into it and take a look at what we found. But before we get into that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, thanks for watching another video. Thanks for watching another stream. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look. This is an article I found. Tesla $25,000 Model 2 car expected to be unveiled in 2024. It's from Teslarati, but the next thing I'm about to show you is even more interesting because the next one is actually a post from Reddit, and it seems like it's from Tesla Communications himself. But before we get into that, let's take a look at this one. Quote, Tesla analysts Loop Ventures thinks the Tesla Model 2 will be unveiled in 2024. Quote, Tesla will wait until 2024 to announce the Model 2. I mean, that's the prediction, but it seems like, if sales, go in this certain trend, and they don't start to miss more analysts' numbers. I mean, they're still growing year over year, but they could triple or double down and sell a even less inexpensive vehicle to really capture market share. Like, what if they just dropped like all the prices of everything down like $10,000 each, like the Model A, $55,000, Model 3, $35,000, and then a Model 2, $25,000. If you think about it, if they can get to that level, because Elon has came out, he said he prefers volume over margin. He'd rather sell more vehicles, more Teslas out there, get the name out there. And so, at Tesla Model 2, they've teased it for years now. I mean, sometimes they've even said it wasn't coming out, but now it actually might be coming out confirmed. And there's something in an announcement that Tesla just talked about regarding an investor day, which I'll show you in a second, in which they talk about a new Tesla coming out. So let's see what else this article says. Of course, there's been few details that have been released. Elon Musk, quote, has set some goals for the electric model vehicle that Tesla might focus on during development of the Model 2. First, the Model 2's price range is $25,000. I mean, that'd be sick, right? Like a brand new car, a brand new Tesla for $25,000. That would really destroy all the other competition out there. I mean, it'd be at least all the other EV competition. All right, so no more stalling. I'll get into the actual thing that just got released and found. So this is a post off of Reddit. Hopefully I don't block it. Tesla announces 2023, quote, 2023 Investor Day for March 1st to talk, quote, long-term expansion and, quote, Generation 3 platform, end quote. So I think the key thing here is this wording, Generation 3 platform. So when you first think of that, you think like, oh, Model 3, right? Like, it's just, that's just reverbaged, mumbo jumbo of the Highland platform or the Model 3 platform or whatever. But then if you start to think about it some more, and actually like some of the comments down here actually make a lot of sense, but you can see so this is probably the best comment that come out here. So quote from Taka. So shout out to Taka. I would guess that the S and X was the first generation. Makes sense. The Model 3 and the Y was the second generation. Makes sense. And so presumably the Cybertruck is going to introduce the basis for their next generation platform. Perhaps the Model 3 Highland rumor will use it. Who knows? So, I mean, it could either be Generation 3 Cybertruck, or it could be Generation 3 cheaper cars. So if you think right here, this comment from Furry, shout out to them, Cybertruck is its own thing. Highland is still on the Model 3 quote unquote platform. That makes sense. Generation 3 cheaper cars. And I kind of agree with this. I mean, I think this is like their next step of the master plan, like, right, make an expensive vehicle or like a Roadster and the S and the X that, people strive to go for, and then make, a cheaper, more mass produced vehicle. Or maybe the Model 3 and the Model Y isn't that cheap, the inexpensive mass produced vehicle, and the Generation 3 is actually going to be the mass produced vehicle. So, I mean, this is everything here. We can only speculate, but it does seem to think that, then this date on March 1st, there's going to be more information, of course, that's going to be released. And this is yet another date to put on our calendars and see, just wait and see what is going to be out there. So right now we had January 2nd, which was the delivery and production numbers. We probably don't have anything else until January 25th, until our earnings call. But I mean, there might be price changes and things like that in between. And then, of course, I've always said February or even March, because that's the last month of the quarter, last month of the first year, and also fiscal year too, can play a, part of this. And also right before tax season, right before April, which is tax time, and everybody gets their, checks and refunds and stuff like that, if you get it. So March is going to be a very, very interesting time because, traditionally that's when Tesla and other manufacturers, ramp up the incentives just a little bit. And it's going to be that last month of the quarter. And so they could use this date, this investor date, to announce, the new models. They could announce some discounts, could announce how this new model plays into everything in the ecosphere, like $25,000 Model 3. $35,000 model, $25,000 Model 2, $35,000 Model 3, and $55,000 Model Y standard range or something to that effect. But definitely some interesting stuff out there. This is a post on Reddit. Definitely check it out if you're interested. And let me know what you guys think on this. Like, do you think a $25,000 Model 2 is coming? I certainly think so in the next year. But at the same time, we are right on the cusp. And I know Alexis wants me to say this, but we're right on the cusp of a $25,000 used Model 3. The market's going to hit there. And when it does, because now you got to remember, there is now a $4,000 tax credit for used EVs under $25,000. It's just started this year now. So if you can find an EV under $25,000 and fit within the guidelines of the tax credit, and now that I think about it, I probably should make a video about this as well, kind of walking through everybody on what actually qualifies. But if you can find a Model 3, and now that I'm thinking about it, holy crap, what if it's does it take into consideration private sales? Because what if, bill of sales says $24,000? I don't know. I'm just thinking, if you're going to buy the car, make sure it's legit and buy the car for the right price. But, there's a couple stipulations here, but yeah, I feel like we are right on the cusp of a used Model 3 being under $25,000. And then it's $21,000, which if you can get, a decent Model 3, 40,000 miles, 20, and I wouldn't really want to go past 2019, maybe 2018, maybe, but that would be sick, because then who needs a Model 2 for under 25,000? Because this Model 3 that you get used is 100,000% going to have a lot more options. But because there is this $4,000 tax credit, I feel like that's going to be kind of like that buffer line or baseline where the Model 3 just does not go under that, because anytime a Model 3 that goes for sale under $25,000, it's just going to get scooped up like hotcakes, because everybody wants that $25,000, inexpensive Model 3 and get that $4,000 tax credit. That could literally be a business right here, trying to source these, inexpensive Model 3s and just rapid selling them, because they literally would sell all of them for $24,990 plus processing fee plus everything, blah, 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 blah. But let's jump into some comments and some questions. Let me know what you guys think on this announcement from Tesla of the 2023 Investor Day on March 1st. Of course, the big thing is that Generation 3 platform. And then let's see what else is. Our investors will be able to see our most advanced production line, as well as discuss long-term expansion plans, Generation 3 platform, capital allocation, and other subjects with our leadership team. We need when are discounts coming? We want to see discounts. So that's what we want here. But all right, but let's jump into some comments and some questions. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can check it out and support the channel. There's benefits or varieties of benefits at certain levels, but some of those benefits include actually scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price and really good financing. And right now, there's actually a credit union on. There's two. I just found another one that has pretty good rates, anywhere from 3